Yes, indeed. On my podcast today, weighing in at 130 pounds in the featherweight division, hailing from California,
Man,
Jalen Sky Walker. Peace, King. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
Man,
You
life is
failed to
good,
mention.
man.
You failed to mention. I ain't just from California. I'm from LA. I'm from Los Angeles, dog.
I'm so sorry. I'm so
Yeah,
sorry. From Los Angeles, my man.
yeah.
How everything been?
Everything been good, man. I've been training hard. I believe we're going to get a date April 20th out here in Pomona,
Okay.
and also we're working on a couple things. We're talking to a couple people right now, so things looking good.
All right. All right. All right. You look like you working out with that coat on, man. Like they got you
Yeah,
in there
yeah,
trying
man.
to do.
I gotta look good, man.
Yeah. I hear you. I hear you. So, all right, we're gonna start from the beginning. What got you into boxing?
I started boxing at the age of 7 because my dad, he was an amateur boxer and his father was a boxer before him.
Okay.
And, it's kind of the family trait.
Okay.
Always been good at it, always had the temperament for fighting. And it was like a gift that God gave me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. How far did your father go? Did he only do the amateurs or did he
Yeah,
did
he
he
only did the amateurs. He
okay.
did for like, I don't know, 8 years, I think.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. And
Yeah.
what about granddad? Do you know how far he went?
Grandpa, I know that he used to box in YA. I know my grandpa normally used to box in YA and in prison and stuff, like Bernard Hopkins.
Yeah.
Uh, he passed away when my dad was a baby, but the stories I hear, he was supposed to have like a pro debut, but he had a whole bunch of. He used to go to Broadway boxing gym, Hoover boxing gym. He had a whole bunch of fights then.
Okay. Okay. So you're the first one to take it a little bit further than everyone else
Yeah,
did.
yeah. First one to take professional.
Congratulations on breaking through. That's a big accomplishment.
Yeah,
I,
appreciate it.
I like that. I like that. I like that. So tell me about your amateur background because from what I understand, you did pretty well.
The amateurs, I had 121 amateurs, 121 amateur fights from the
Mhm.
age of 8 to 17 was my amateur career. Uh, my amateur career was great, but I'm gonna make my professional career even greater.
Okay.
You know, and I wanted to go to the Olympics, the 2020 Olympics, but we thought that it would be better for me to turn pro. How the amateur system was, you know,
It's
we
a little
thought that
shifty now. It ain't as cool as it once
yeah,
was.
man, it's better to be pro. I'm glad I made the switch because I turned pro in 2019, like right when the pandemic happened.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, it was a lot of craziness happening around that 2019 to 2020 era up until now, man. Everything went
Yeah,
sideways for a lot of people. I hope everybody out there is getting their chance to get their life back on track and push
yeah.
forward.
I lost the grandpa from COVID on my mom's side.
Oh
From
man,
yeah, on my
my
mom's side,
condolences.
yeah, from COVID.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
But
a lot of craziness happened during that time.
yeah, yeah, it was like a milestone in my life.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, tell me about this your pro debut. How did you feel going into the ring uh for your
Man, I
first?
felt ready. I felt
Yeah.
ready. I felt it was my destiny. I
Okay.
fought a guy that I think that was like, I don't know. I think he's like in his mid 30s, man. He was
Hmm.
old, but I ended up stopping him in the first round, 3 knockdowns. You know,
Yeah, I was looking
so
at the record. I was
I,
like, my man's got like a few first round stoppages, like right out the
yeah,
gate.
yeah, man. I was getting people out of here.
Yeah.
Uh,
Was it your decision to box southpaw, or was that your dad, or did it just naturally happen?
it was my dad.
Okay.
But it was like a good thing. We just started off softball.
Okay. Are you able to switch? Is that something that you're able to
Yeah,
do? Okay.
which I don't switch like too often, but I've been working on it. But yeah, I can switch.
Yeah, I don't. I've been looking. I was like, oh, he don't switch. Like he'll stay southpaw throughout the whole fight.
Yeah, I like staying southpaw, but it's weird. I only like switching for not too long. I like to switch to create an angle and then get back in my southpaw stance. Like, I feel like when people are constantly switching back and forth, they're not really mastering one style of fighting. Like I feel like you have to be proficient in both stands, but when you're like going back and forth constantly, I feel like it's kind of amateurish. Like I watched this guy, I was commentating a fight, and this guy was switching southpaw and orthodox like ridiculous, like every 2-3 seconds. And it just had no meaning to it.
Yeah. There are guys who do. We know at the top level there are guys that switch, but you can tell that they're doing it with a purpose, and there's something that they're trying to look for. But it's not like it, like you said, it's not every 3 seconds. I like when
Yeah,
arrows. I like when not arrow. I like when Jerron boots in his switches
yeah, yeah. I
stances.
really like this day. I
Yeah.
really like how he switches. If you look at Floyd's early fights, he used to switch a little bit to southpaw. I
Hmm.
believe he switched to southpaw when he fought Chop Chop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I wonder about that fight. Was he switching because he wanted to create a different angle, or was it
he
his
wanted to knock
actual
him out
hands?
because when you're a southpaw, you not just southpaw, but when you're southpaw or orthodox, you can create a little more power. At least what I've noticed. Like most of my devastating knockouts is usually from when I knock them out there because it's a southpaw. For some reason, the way that they're coming in, it connects more than if I'm like punching on orthodox.
Well,
It's
for
it's
you,
twin.
because it's already lined up
Yeah,
when you're coming
yeah.
down the
My
barrel.
power comes in more, and my left hand connects more. My right hook connects more.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
because it's just right down the pipe. It's usually like they're right there. They line up off
yeah.
that angle.
So
So
I put some couple people to sleep with my left hand.
yeah,
You know.
absolutely. You're supposed to. You're supposed to. Your style as a pressure fighter, where does that
Um,
come
I,
from?
I call myself a power boxer. I could do both. I
Okay.
have a high IQ. I never underestimate my IQ, but my pressure style comes from me being from California. Being from LA, Southern California, we all have that like Mexican style, in a way.
Yeah.
But like, with my blackness, my athletic ability, you gotta look at guys like Shane Mosley or even Errol Spence. He's from Texas, but similar. Where you sparring just Mexican fighters, you kind of gonna pick up some of the ways,
Yeah,
you know.
you always wanna let them know that you ain't afraid to bust head too. So you gotta stay in there with those guys. So before we stop, you were talking about your style and it's relatable to Errol Spence and Shane Mosley
Oh
and
yeah,
power boxing.
yeah. Black fighters on the West Coast, we have a very like aggressive style more
Hmm.
than guys on the East Coast. And always the difference in the amateurs. Like if you notice guys like in California when they fight guys on the East Coast and the Nationals, you can see the styles. The styles. Like we could both be slick, but we're just more aggressive. We're a little more, like aggressive. We're more
Yeah,
aggressive fight.
that like I was saying, that comes from being around the Latino community or Hispanic community, because they like to come straight forward, and for them
Yeah,
they
but
don't believe in
it's
they don't
really
believe
it's really
in,
Mexican fighters though. That's the Mexican style,
yeah,
or
yeah,
Mexican American style. Puerto Ricans and other cultures or Cubans and guys, they fight with a different style,
yeah, they box or point.
Yeah. So it just depends.
Yeah. So but it looks like you're more comfortable as a come forward guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. So up to now, how many fights is it that you have? Six, eight? What is it?
11,
11. All
11.
right. 11 with 9 KOs, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. All right. I got to get it correct. Got to because I probably watched like six fights or whatever, but I was just paying attention to it. And it seems like you've gotten better and better after each fight. Explain
Yeah.
to the people why you've gotten better because me and you had a conversation off the
Uh,
microphone.
I've been with this team at Churchill, Santa Monica, California. My head coach's name is Pedro Neme. He's from Argentina. He has a beautiful style of boxing that he taught me. He could be an asshole. I don't know if I can curse on this stuff.
Yeah,
So
you can curse.
yeah, but he could be a real asshole. But that's what you need. He's very disciplined. He's very sharp about being on time. He'll call you and tell you to go home. If you're like 10 minutes late, he'll get on you. He's not he's not messing around. And then we got our assistant coaches, Coach Eddie. We got Coach Jorge. We have a new coach, Coach Trevor, and we got a good team. And I just been religiously getting better. This is all I do. I
Yeah.
train literally every day of the week, two, three times.
it seems like you've gotten not only have you gotten better, but you seem more comfortable and happier with the situation. Um,
Yeah, I'm more happier with the situation because I
yeah.
have professionals representing me. I
Okay.
recently signed with Split T. I don't know if you heard of them. It's a management company.
Mm-mm.
They have fighters like Tefimo Lopez. They also have a fighter named Tiger Johnson. They have some names. They have
Okay.
some names.
I know, of course I know Tiger. I know Tiger.
Yeah. So I'm signed with that management team. So things is going good. Recently just signed with them. So I'm looking forward. I just turned 21 New Year's and I'm here to break out.
Awesome. Awesome. Happy belated birthday to you. I know
Thank you.
it's a couple months past, but you're still alive, still doing well for yourself.
Yes, sir.
That's it. Yes, sir, indeed. So how long do you think you will stay at featherweight?
You mean super featherweight, 130?
Yeah. Yeah.
I just moved up to 130. My last fight was at 127.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I want to be here a while. I'm gonna win a world title at 130 pounds. The organization doesn't matter, the belt organization doesn't matter, but I like WBC, I like IBF, WBA, WBO.
WBC is that's the one that everybody goes for, the
Yeah,
green strap. But
people got good
IBF
and
is
bad
pretty
things
good too.
about it. Yeah, I
Say it
like
again.
IBF. People say good and bad things about WBC, but I like it. It's kind of like historical. The green belt for some reason is it just hits different.
Yeah, it does. It does. I like the IBF. I like the way the IBF does things too. They're pretty good about trying to
Yeah.
keep things straight laced without having a bunch of craziness going on within the
Yeah, I like the
organization.
WB. I like all of them. There's really not one that I prefer more. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have you so have you had a chance to spar with any of the current champs?
Man, I sparred a whole bunch of people, huh?
Okay.
Wild card. Okay, wild card is the gym that really got me better because I've
All right.
been there since I was, I think, like 17, 18, sparring Mark Masayo, Shavkov. He just recently won a world title at 130. A whole bunch of names, all the Filipinos there. Who else have I sparred there? I've been in the ring with Danny Roman. It is I don't know if you know him. He's a 122 pounder.
Oh, I
MJ.
know who he is. I know who he is.
Yeah, yeah. I've been in there. Yeah, man. I've been around, man.
Okay,
I'm
good.
a veteran.
Got to. You got that's why I was asking because I want to like I see the difference in the progression throughout the different fights. So I'm like, well, he's getting better. So it got to be not just him being having the in-ring experience. There has to be people inspiring that he's around that's giving him the better work so he
Yeah,
can
man.
improve his craft.
Yeah, man. I'm a workhorse. Spar Mark Masayo. He just recently had a fight, and it's just I learned so much sparring that guy. You know, it gave me my confidence. It showed me and it proved to me that I belong in this sport. I believe that at the end of the day, I'm gonna be the number one guy, and
Hmm.
it's just sparring the top guys gets you there. I'm always in shape. I'm always training. Like today, I had a 2 day training session. I wake up early, 6 a.m., go to the gym, 2 hours of strength and conditioning, rest a little bit. Then we got back in our training. Then I rest a little bit, and then I go running. So I'm training. I'm training all the time.
How long do you run? How many miles?
I had different like variations of my running. I used to do like 40 miles a week, but that was a little too much. So now we're like slowing it down, doing a lot of track work, a lot of sprints, you know,
Okay.
because I have like a strong VO2 max, like I run a lot of miles. So right now we're just like going on a sprints to just make our way and go. Because like a fight, when you're fighting, it's an up and down
Yeah.
pace. Your heartbeat's beating fast and it's beating slow.
So you're going for the burst instead of just the
Yeah,
constant motion of running. Yeah.
yeah, you need both though.
Yeah.
That's what fighters go wrong at. They just focus on sprints, but they burn out in the fourth, fifth round.
Yeah, and the other guy, that's when his engine just starts to kick in. He starts to rev up. So you definitely want to have a variation of the different techniques when you getting your strength and conditioning going.
Yep.
Man, yeah, but man, again, man, I'm glad that you got a different team. Is your dad comfortable? Is your father? Is he
Yeah.
comfortable with the new
Yeah.
team?
But that's comfortable. This team that I have right here is like the only team that my father has kind of like stepped away. My father works,
Hmm.
but he trusts Pedro and he trusts the team that's behind me to not mess up and do everything good because the team that we had before this, my dad had to be right there,
Yeah.
you know. My
Yeah.
dad had to like make sure things were getting done.
Have you do are you a guy that likes to watch the old school boxers? Do you have any
Of
old school
course, man.
boxers?
Of course. I watch Salvador Sanchez. I watch James Tony, man. I watch even Chavez. I watch how you put his head in his chest in his opponent's chest and all the punches that go behind him.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm still mad at him about the Magic Taylor fight, but I am
Man,
I can't get over it. I don't know. I'll never get over it. I'll never accept that.
that was a
That's just how I
fight.
am.
That's a fight that still has me like I don't know how to feel about that fight anymore.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
it
it
sucks.
you see Meldrick Taylor get all the way to the end, 3 seconds,
Yeah,
and
4 seconds, they said.
because he wasn't focused, he wandered off for a little bit. The
He
ref
was looking
called
at
it.
he was looking at his corner when the referee was counting.
Yeah, but the ref is in front of you, and that's what matters most at that point, you know. So there's nothing we can do. We can all say different things, but
I hate how he moved up in weight and fought Terry Norris. I don't know if that was 154 or 160, but
I
he's
think it
only
was
five six.
154.
Yeah, he's only 5'6", moving up to that weight class, and that spelled trouble for him. And after that, it was just downhill.
Yeah, he just had a string of bad luck after that. I wish that he
Yeah,
would have just taken the time to just really just chill out and get himself together. But fighters, guys got egos and they feel like they can do everything and beat everybody. So, but he that was not only a great fight, but that was a great era of boxing as well, man. Really great fights. What happened at that time? Pernell Whitaker was a beast. Uh, it was a bunch of guys from that era, man. But I'm glad you are paying attention. That James Tony was a motherfucker too, man. He was a
yeah. When he
bad
fought
dude.
Uriah Barkley, that's one of my favorite fights. Destroyed him.
Man,
You know,
he just
respect to Barkley, but man,
man, all
whooped him.
respect to Iran Barkley, but he just picked him apart, man.
Yeah. Also, Roberto Duran. I like Roberto Duran, Sugar Ray Leonard. People they always want to comment and say Sugar Ray Leonard got beat bad in the Duran fight, but he actually gave Duran a tough. He gave him a fight, man. He never gave up. He never yielded or accept defeat in that fight against Duran.
No, and he fought the fault of Duran. He
Yeah,
wanted to prove that he had the balls to stand in there, and be chest to chest and shoulder to shoulder and
yeah,
head to head with
yeah.
another
That's
guy, and he
something
didn't have to move.
yeah, that's something I had to learn. So I guess some fighters we just gotta learn the hard way. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. When your head is ringing and you don't feel like moving and everything bothers you and light is bothering everything else, you learn your lesson after that, man. It's taking an ass whooping for no reason. It ain't cool. It ain't
nah,
cool. But that was a hell of a fight too, man. Having that first Roberto, that Duran Leonard
man.
fight, that was a hell of a fight.
Probably one of the greatest fights ever. The
Yeah.
intensity of the fight, the punch, the output, the anger, the they both didn't like each other.
Yeah.
It was a spectacle.
And
You
then
know,
one guy take a shot and he tried to give a shot right back, the exchanges
yeah,
that they were
and
having.
the flurries of Leonard.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
10 punch combinations. How he'll like do his hand like this, hit him with an
Yeah,
upper.
the bolo punch. Yeah,
Yeah, man,
yeah,
just move with it. Or he'll do
and
something like this. He'll go something like this, hit him with a jab.
yeah,
Leonard was special.
yeah, stepping in, acting like he was gonna throw a jab, and he hit him with an uppercut or something like that. And Duran would just nod at him like that was a good one, and they would go
Yep.
right back at each other. But that was a great era of boxing, and I'm glad that you do that, so you get to see how those guys did it at the time.
Yeah.
And Roberto Duran was a great inside fighter as well, man. Like he had so many tricks of the trade to get you to put your hands up or cross your hands over your face or trip you up and things like that, man. It's
Yeah,
good that you
people think that he's just a aggressive fighter.
nah,
They think being an aggressive fighter means that you're not smart, but it's the opposite. It means the opposite.
yeah,
When you're aggressive fighter like Duran, he showed his intelligence. How you'll go to the body, go to the head. He'll manipulate the way the hands is going. He'll put his shoulders in there.
yeah.
You
There's
know,
a lot of different tricks of the chase. Tap your elbow up so he could get punches to the gut. It's a lot of different things you can do in there, and the ability to get to the inside of a fighter to be able to control him and move you where he wanted you to be, sit you on the ropes, or have you sitting in the pocket with him throwing punches. It takes a lot of skill and will to do that, and You don't just go for it and just try to run over guys. It's more to it than that. There's a technique to all that.
Yeah.
Definitely. So let me ask you this: because you're from Cali, I gotta ask you, name your top five Mexican fighters of all time.
Julio Cesar Chavez, Salvador Sanchez. Uh, you got Mexican American, Oscar De La Hoya.
Okay.
Uh, who else? I liked Fernando Vargas.
Okay.
It's weird. I never made a list in my head. I'm trying to think. There's some other names. Oh, Ricardo Lopez.
Oh, there you go. There you
Yeah.
go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm
Yeah.
glad you said
50 0,
Ricardo.
50 0, 50, 50 0 and 0 and 1. You
Yeah, he
know?
had a draw. He had a
Yeah,
draw.
that's gonna be me. That's gonna be me. That's well, I want to go past 50. I want to go to 60, 70. But yeah. Yeah, I look at
60 or
guys like
70.
yeah, man, I want to have a lot of fights. I want to
All
pick
right.
it up.
All right.
Yeah,
Ain't nobody doing that these days, man.
yeah, that'll set me apart.
Yeah, it will. Yeah,
Apart.
it will. You got to, and it's not that you can't do it, but all I'm saying is like make sure you stay disciplined and make sure you stay healthy. Make sure you eat the right
Yeah,
foods and you sleep and rest properly as well.
yeah, health is a big thing for me. Cause
Yeah.
last year, I got diagnosed with rhabdomyolysis. Getting ready for a fight. My it's basically when your
Hmm.
body shuts down on you from overtraining and not hydrating properly. And I was just in pain. My kidneys felt like they was gonna pop off. I couldn't walk, man. I was throwing up after sparring. So that I know how the health thing is tough.
Yeah, it's a big part of any and everything you do,
Yeah,
man. You can't do anything in this world without your body being healthy and able to. That's your engine. That's how you get everything done, man. And you gotta be healthy. Uh, so it was just from overtraining and exhaustion.
yeah, overtraining and exhaustion, man. I trained like a madman. I was doing 2, 3 training sessions a day, not properly
Nah,
resting. You
nah, you
know,
gotta rest. You gotta
yeah,
rest. Two sessions a day is cool. If you're gonna do three, they have to be the
yeah.
workouts can't be as intense.
I
Yeah,
was overdoing it. I was hitting 40, 50 miles a week at the same time of that. I'm the type of person, if I feel like something like my conditioning is off, I'm going to ramp it up. I'm going to increase it. I'm going to overload. And that just
yeah.
happened. Overloading for like, I don't know, too long, you could say, maybe 2 months. And that's what happened to my body.
And then your body was really just saying, no, no, don't go further. We need a rest. We need a break.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So were you experiencing cramps before you knew what was going on, or was it just all the throwing up and everything that happened
Extreme
at once?
exhaustion. My only threw up once, but basically my lower back was killing me. My lower back was killing me, and also what was it? My lower back was killing me, and I was just exhausted. I couldn't like basically keep. I could keep my head up, but I was just like I couldn't really do nothing, man. I couldn't run without my body burning up.
Was it hard to eat?
Yeah, I had no appetite. I had no appetite. I had nothing.
Yeah, man, you gotta do better, young king. Like if you want them records and you want to go to further than anybody else has, you got to, you can't just think about now. Remember, we talking about 10, 12 years from now when you doing this. So you got to
Yeah.
be around for that part as well.
Yeah, what's funny is that Virgil Ortiz he got diagnosed with rhabdomyolysis like I think 2, 3 weeks before I did.
Oh wow.
you know. And I'd never heard of rhabdomyolysis. And I started feeling symptoms, but I didn't want to say it because, like, you know how ironic would that be? A fighter gets rhabdomyolysis and then you do.
It's like all of a sudden, oh yeah, I got that too. You know what I mean? They was
Yeah,
like, oh, he pussy and now he a chicken or whatever.
yeah,
So yeah, but no, but man, your health is very, very important. That's the biggest key to your success. You're a warrior and you're in a combat sport, and you have to make sure that your health is primary and first, and it comes before anything else.
yeah, absolutely.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Who are you liking right now in the boxing world?
I like Errol Spence. I
Hmm.
like Crawford. I like Canelo. I like David Benavidez. Um, I study the guys that are even a little older than me or guys that eventually become my competition in the future. Like guys like Javante, Haney, you know, I'll look at all those guys. I'm a student of the game.
Okay.
All like Ryan, like Garcia, I study the game.
I really like David Benavidez. I'm a
Yeah,
fan. I'm a fan. Like
yeah,
I never say I'm a fan of a guy, but if there is one guy that I'm a fan of, it's that guy. It's all action until the fight's over with.
yeah. I watched him spar, man. He's brutal. I watched him
Yeah,
spar. That guy right there, he brings it. Oh, I
yeah.
also like me too.
Triple
I like
G,
yeah. I met him
Triple
in
G, man. I don't know.
he's a cool dude. He always showed me love, you know. I know his strength coach pretty well, Camacho.
Okay,
And I used to be like everybody else and think like, oh, he ain't that good. His style is very methodical and it's kind of robotic, but he's actually it's like a mad genius in disguise. You know, he set people up. He walks them to shots like George Foreman. You know, he's like a middleweight version in a way. And
I
he's a
guess,
very
man.
yeah,
I just wish he would have fought better competition. Like I haven't seen him fight any.
yeah. But that's the number one thing that fight fans complain about. You know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely coming from me. Like every time I hear about him fighting, I'm like, dude, why are you fighting people that you know?
oh, I like the Charlos. I also like the Charlo brothers.
That okay, I was waiting on. I'm like, how do you like
Yeah,
Errol and then you don't throw the
yeah,
Charlos in there,
yeah. I
man?
like the Charlo brothers.
Yeah,
I like the one at 54 too, man. How he became undisputed champion. You know,
he a bad dude, man. He a
yeah,
bad dude.
I like
Mel. Mel is
yeah.
thorough, man.
He's just a tough competition because then he beat Rosario. Is the brother that beat Rosario too? After
Hmm.
Rosario did that to Julian Williams.
Yeah, hit him
And
with a jab and had him on the ground
yeah,
convulsing
man.
like he was
Like
about to bust a nut on himself.
yeah, like nobody talks about that, man. It's just yeah, he's a good fighter.
Yeah, he's a good fighter. God bless his brother too. I hope his older brother gets everything in order with his
Yeah,
situation because he's a bad motherfucker too, and I don't see nobody beating him unless he runs up against David or probably Andre. I like Demetrius Andre as well. So
yeah.
those are only two guys I see giving him some competition. All right, so since you named David Benavidez, I'm gonna automatically assume you got him against Caleb Plant.
Um, mm, I like Caleb.
Mm,
I like Caleb Plant too, but I feel like it's a smart choice. It's a smart betting choice to side with David Benavidez. I feel like David Benavidez because he never been defeated, has the killer mindset, and I feel like Caleb Plant, if he was that killer, like that real dog, he probably would have showed it in the Canelo fight. But people could change. People could always improve. You know, so
yeah, he
we'll
got a
see.
new person. He got Breadman. Breadman is just training now, so he may be
Yeah,
telling them, the secrets to sitting down on your punches and how to catch guys using his quickness and speed to really get the job done in there.
you know, it's really not the skills in this boxing game. It's the character. It's the character of a fighter. How disciplined he is. How hard he works. If he's training 6, 7 days a week, you know what is he doing on the weekend? If he's drinking, is he smoking? You know, it's all those things that you have to put in place.
Yeah, we then in that case we know that the character of Caleb Plant is pretty thorough. He's not a guy
Yeah,
that does anything too crazy or off the wall, but when it comes to like heart and everything, we're gonna find out how big his heart
yeah,
and how big his will is in this fight.
yeah. We'll see. Because
Yeah.
Darrell was giving Benavidez an okay fight.
Mm-hmm.
He was like at the times he was giving him an okay fight. So let's see what Caleb Plant could do.
Yeah, yeah. I think it'll be a hell of a fight. I think the explosiveness of Caleb Plant will be effective, especially in them later rounds. We'll see. I can't wait. Like that's a fight I really want to see. Uh, what do you think about this Ryan Garcia Tank Davis fight?
Um, hmm. I know Ryan Garcia personally from like the amateurs. You know,
Okay.
like a little kid. I used to spar his brother, Sean Garcia. I know his mom, his dad, his sister, and stuff. So I don't want to go against him, but I do like Gervonta Davis too. You know, I like Gervonta Davis. I like how he moves and he does his thing. So I really want to see a good fight. You know, I like Davis, but I know Ryan. I personally know. You know,
Okay.
I know amateurs. I remember when he was like a kid, and him and his brother, they used to always do badass shit. You know, their parents were referees and judges, so they used to kind of like get to do what they want. You know, they was always
Oh,
around. Yeah, he was always fun to be around, like at Walmart and stuff. We went to tournaments together with Joe Sanders. You know, we went to the Silver Gloves. So yeah, I know that guy. So it'd be wrong of me to go against him.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be wrong. Like if you thought that Tank was just a bit better and more talented fighter, then it would be understandable.
No, I like Tank too. I like Tank. I like Tank. I just want to see, I want to see a good fight.
Yeah, I definitely want to see a good fight too. A lot of people are saying, well, not a lot. I've talked to a few people in the boxing community. They're saying that if Ryan is to get him, he has to get Tank out of it before round five, because then after that, that's when Tank gonna start eating. So I don't know. I don't know. I said the fight may go up to 9 to 10 rounds either one of them, because
I
I
was a
think
little
it's
worried for Davis because his last fight was good. His last fight was beautiful. It seems like he like picked up the pace, but his fight with Pitbull Cruz, and I'm aware that he hurt his hand, but also the fight with Rolly, it seemed like his punch output wasn't high, but he was maybe doing that purposefully
he
for a
was doing it
reason.
on purpose. He was doing it
You
on
know,
purpose. He was waiting time. He was buying time.
yeah,
Buying time. Usually, when Tank does that, it's something that he ain't seeing. Like he doesn't see the full picture, so he starts to box and move around the ring. Same
yeah, it
way he
was
did
smart.
with Rolly.
Yeah, it was smart with Rolly.
I think he's gonna do the same thing with Ryan. I think he'll do the same thing. He'll watch him and see what he
But I
do.
don't know if that's a good thing though, because how would it be if Ryan puts up like a lead on him, a early fight lead?
Well, they were saying Barrios had a lead. They were saying Santa Cruz was up.
Yeah,
They were saying Rolly. They said Rolly looked good up until
yeah, he
he
was
get
looking good. He was looking
yeah.
good.
So we'll see what happens though. That's two great fights that we got coming up right there so far. So can't wait
Mhm.
to see those. I'm really interested in seeing those fights. What about this Terrence Crawford EJ fight? Errol Spence.
Oh, uh,
You got a big
same.
smile on your face.
The same. I really don't go against fighters, man, especially when they made it up to that point. I try not to talk bad about fighters
Yeah.
because if I don't have like a personal like vendetta against you, why would I do that? You
Hmm.
know? So I see the good in both of these guys. I like Errol Spence, how he goes to the body. He's somebody I like watched all the time, like before I got ready for my first fight. You
Hmm.
know, I go to the body like him, but I also like Crawford. I like Crawford's patience. I like how Crawford switches you know. But one thing I do like about Errol Spence a little more, it seems like he's fighting more, not just better competition, but more popular name competition, like guys that have like a fan base with him. And Terrence Crawford is kind of like just doing his own thing, fighting,
Yeah.
I guess his mandatories and stuff. But it
I'll
would be nice
say I hear what you're
to
saying.
fight a guy.
But not but Arrow has fought guys who have been to the top of the mountain.
Yeah,
And our
most
current
of them.
top of the mountain, and they are current. They're like current guys, and Bud seems to just fight whoever they throw at him. Um, and I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm just saying, they're on his list of fighters as far as 147 goes. It doesn't look the same as Arrows does,
Yeah,
except for Sean Porter. So
yeah, yeah, I agree. Even Mikey Garcia, I give Errol Spence credit for Mikey Garcia. People
I,
talk about, I give him credit for it. Mikey Garcia won it. I like the Garcias too, but he wanted that fight. How can we not give him credit?
so here's okay. I give him credit for the fight, but halfway through the fight, you can kind of tell like, yo, Mikey, know here, like, this is
Yeah,
not gonna go the way I thought it was gonna go.
it's not Errol Spence's fault. It's not Errol
No,
Spence's
it
fault.
ain't. It ain't. You signed the contract. You got to get your ass in here. And you got to fight.
It's
So
like Lomachenko, and Rigondeaux. I like Larimore Rigondeaux. I watched a lot of his Olympic fights, but he moved up in weight. He moved up in weight to challenge Vasyl
yeah,
Lomachenko.
and he was a
You
smaller guy. And
know?
even though he was a smaller guy, he took an ass whooping that fight.
Yep. Yeah.
Lomachenko was doing a lot of different things in that fight. A lot of
Yeah.
different
Yeah.
things. So tell me about Sean Garcia. Does he fight, or is he just is does he all does something different?
I'm not sure. I think he took some time off. I think he has a fight coming up, or
Okay.
he recently just fought, something like that.
So is he's fighting in the pros?
Yeah, yeah, he's pro. Yeah,
Okay,
he told me.
I didn't know. I didn't know. That's why I was asking about it.
Yeah, he's southpaw.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
he's a few years older than me too. I think he's like 2 years older than me, and Ryan is like 4 or 5.
So is he tall as well?
Nah, he's well, he's like 5'8". He's not as tall as his brother. He's
Uh,
around my height. Around that 5'8", 5'9" range.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool, cool. So in your time away from boxing, what are the things you like to do away from boxing? Because you got to relax, right? Like what are the
I
things
mean,
that you like to do to just chill the fuck out?
but it's just boxing, man. Well, girl, boxing and girls. That's it. But it's just boxing. Man, that's all I
Yo,
do.
don't let them girls get you in trouble, man. All right,
Uh, yeah,
all
but
right.
that's all I do, man. It's just boxing and boxing some more.
As a young man, I understand. When you young, fly, handsome, and black, and
Nah,
pretty,
man, I'll be
pretty
out there. My
smile and
dad be
shit.
on me. My
I
dad be
know.
on me all the time, man. I got the discipline. I got the
Okay,
discipline of a monk.
okay,
But you asked me my hobbies, and that's the only thing that I could say besides boxing.
okay.
Or occasionally watching like MMA fighters like John Jones and stuff like that.
That was crazy, right? That was a
Yeah,
crazy.
John Jones is dope. John Jones is a straight killer, man.
Yeah, Cyril Gunn had not. He didn't even know what happened to him. He was just sitting there like,
John
"Yo,
Jones is a serial killer. He's fucking crazy, but he just has to keep it together.
yeah, yeah." And he has so many tools. He has so many
Yeah,
tools to actually get you out of there. He can be kickboxing one minute. He could be Muay Thai. He might start wrestling and grappling with you, and the next thing you know, you
yeah,
end up in a chokehold.
yeah, man. He's dope. He's
Yeah,
super.
I like John Jones, man. I'm glad he was able to come back and get that win. It was a big win for him for his career. And it also made those who didn't like him shut the fuck up too. Like now
Yeah,
you can't say shit.
yeah.
Yeah, I like John Jones. So are you a fan of like basketball or any other sports?
Not too much. I
No?
watch
Okay.
here and there. I like the Ball brothers. I like LaMelo Ball and stuff, and his brother Alonzo. I like, I like greatness. I admire greatness, no matter what sport it is.
Salute to the Ball brothers because both of them are injured, right? Lonzo and then the youngest one.
Yeah, I wish the middle one, what's his name? I don't know how to say it. Giangelo.
Leangelo or something like that.
Giangelo.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
I wish he could get in the league, man. That would be cool. But I think he kind of, messed it up with that whole stealing incident in China.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he had a. Well, I'm not trying to bring up bad news, but it was over. It was all over. I'm surprised you haven't heard about it.
I,
Like Donald
I
Trump had to like get him out.
yeah,
Yeah,
I don't follow him like that.
yeah, it was like a
That's
big.
crazy. That's crazy, dude. You set for life. What you stealing for? Anyway, what type of music you got pumping through your headphones when you working out or when you at home? Like who you
Man,
like
whatever,
right now?
man, whatever I'm feeling. I'm not really like an artist dude like that. You know, it's whatever I'm feeling. It could be DMX, Drake. It don't matter. It's probably some guys that just not on my mind right now, but it just comes and goes.
Yeah, most people have like a certain type of music that get them
Yeah,
geared up.
yeah, man. All I did was boxing from the age of 7, well, even before. I used to go to the gym with my dad, and to now, that's just been my hobby. But not my hobby. That's been my whole life. So I really didn't have like other hobbies and stuff.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Where do you see yourself within the next year as far as at 130?
Being prospect of the year. I
Okay.
don't know what ESPN or whatever website or something, but I'm gonna be a prospect on somebody's list.
Okay. Okay. So will you be doing any work with Matchroom or just with ESPN or should we
Oh
just
no,
move?
oh, I don't know. We're still in talks right now, but we're gonna be hearing news shortly.
Okay.
I'm waiting on my management team to come back to me. I should be hearing something this week. Hopefully the latest next week. And when I find out, I'll post it. I'm gonna post it online and let everybody know.
Dope. Dope. Cool. Cool to hear. Um, good to know that you have a better situation and it's working out for you, man. I'm happy that that's one less thing that you actually have to worry about as far as your career goes. And I'm sure that you're happy about that as well.
Yep. Yeah, I'm extremely happy about it. I
Hell
just keep my
yeah.
head down and I just work. You know. I just put my head down and work, and I post on my social media to promote myself, and that's what I do. I'm giving my all to boxing. I don't know if you heard the quote, but they says if you want to take the island, you have to burn your ships, and
Mm,
that's my ships are burnt. I'm all in. I'm all in, man. I want it. I want it bad.
mm. I like that. Say that quote one more time.
If you want to take the island, you have to burn your ships.
Mm,
That's what a
okay.
lot of Texans did back then. That's what Hernan Cortez did when he conquered Mexico.
Yeah.
He marched towards the Aztecs. There were 9 ships. Oh, all right, a hobby. I like history. I'm very into history. You can say
No,
that's a
no, it's
hobby.
cool. It's cool. Like it's cool. Like I like hearing it. I like hearing it.
Basically, Hernan Cortez with the Spanish soldiers, the conquistadors. I believe he came in 9 ships, and he told one of his guys to put holes in the ships and say worms ate the wood or something, and all 9 ships sunk. And there was only one ship left. And basically his man knew, like, all right, man, if we don't win, if we don't beat these guys, we're gonna die. We're gonna die here.
Yeah, there's no other alternative. It's either
Yep.
this or nothing.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it, man. That's a good way to look
Yeah.
at it. Be all in.
Yeah. I look up to not Hernan Cortez, of course, not him, but I look up to like the generals and the warriors that came before me. I've
Yeah,
always been in the warrior culture,
and use
like
them as motivation.
yeah, man, I always been into that. The barbarians, the Vikings, the samurai, the Zulu warriors. I used to study Shaka Zulu, like it seems like Mike Tyson said, all great men are good men, but they're genius in the things that they do.
Yeah, yeah. It's good that you do that though, because it helps you with strategy and it helps you with philosophy and focusing in on the things that you desire to accomplish as well. You know, you get to pick you get to pick different things from different guys, whether they was sociopaths or psychopaths or whether they were just men of war,
Yeah,
who are about protecting their land.
yeah. Like if you want to hear a fun fact, Napoleon, he wasn't even French. He was Corsican. He was Italian. He didn't
Mm,
even like when he was a kid. He used to get mad about the French occupying his land. But his parents sent him to France to like a boarding school, and then a revolution happened, and he found the opportunity, and he rose up in the ranks. So
yeah,
history is like filled with all these twists and turns.
a lot
Like
of twists and turns.
I look at like Floyd Mayweather. Nobody would have thought Mayweather would have made it to the level that he's on.
No, they
You know?
laughed. They laughed at him about it. They
Yeah.
said he wasn't ready, and they said he didn't have the style that would get him to the top. And they said he needed work.
Who was it? Was it Larry Merchant, I believe, that said I forgot what fight it was, but I could find it for you. And he basically said uh Mayweather would never reach the plateau of a De La Hoya.
That was
Meaning he'll
Larry Merchant. That was Larry
yeah
Merchant.
never be as big as Oscar De La Hoya, and he surpassed him.
Now,
You know,
yeah, he did more than surpass De La Hoya, man. Like he kind of just ran off of boxing, you know.
yeah,
And there was nothing nobody could do about it. He started calling his own shots, and he became the business of boxing for a very long
yeah,
time.
man. You just have to believe in yourself. Some people
That's
may call,
all.
and that's how I feel. Some people may be like, man, who does this guy think he is? How does he think he gonna beat all these guys that came before him? But you just gotta believe in yourself.
Yeah,
You
and you
know,
got to put the work
work.
in.
Yep. Belief and putting in the work creates miracles.
Yep. And then not even miracles, it's just destiny at that point because you're aligning yourself to a goal and you're trying to accomplish it and you're just doing everything that you can to get there. So it's not a miracle, it's just hard work. I listened to I was listening to Tyson Fury talk one time, and they said, "Man, your life is a miracle." And he said, "My life isn't a miracle, man." He said, "I work for everything I got." He said, "There's no miracles that happen here. Everything that you see me do came from hard work and fighting all the time, fighting in
Yeah.
alleys, fighting in bars. Everywhere I went, I fought." He said, "This is not a miracle." And I was
You know
listening to
what
think,
doesn't get talked enough about?
what's that?
Like Tyson Fury, but Deontay Wilder, that last fight, how Wilder came back with 2 knockouts, 2 knockdowns,
Yeah.
and the heart that he showed, and he never surrendered. I seen that guy he put his heart out, and I feel like everybody should respect him. It was like a Rocky versus Apollo moment.
I got nothing but respect for him for what he did. I got nothing but respect. I didn't think that, the third fight should have happened, but we got a third fight and it came out
Man,
as a part of
but,
a great trilogy of fights, man. It was really good to see them like go
hey,
in there and give it all.
it's rare when the third fight is better than the first two.
Facts, facts. And they were throwing punches like they were trying to get each other out of there. There wasn't a
Yeah,
lot of technique toward the toward them last few rounds. And I was just like, yo, I'm gonna hit you and I'm gonna try to get you up out of here.
yeah, and that's how I get. Sometimes you gotta get ugly.
Yeah, you got to get real ugly in there. Hey, it's a fight. It's just you and me. It's you
Yeah,
and me.
my dad always tells me. He used to tell me this when I was younger. He's like, "Do you want to look pretty and lose, or do you want to look ugly and win?" And sometimes you got to make that choice.
Yeah, especially when you down on cars. Sometimes you just got to go out there and get it. There's nothing else to do but go out there and get it. And a lot of people, you know what? And let's say this because people think they know boxing and they talk about boxing like they can do it. Everybody can't box.
Yeah,
Everybody can't go in there and take a punch. And to actually throw a punch or receive one, it take a lot. It take a lot of work to do that.
yeah,
So the people that speak negatively about boxers and they call these guys tomato cans, let me see you get in there with the guy that's a tomato can and see how far you get with him.
yeah. I'm listening to you, man. Give
Yeah,
me a
because
second.
a lot of people go in there and they think that these guys are, oh, he's a tomato can, or he's not as good as this guy is, or he's not as good as that guy. But you can't beat this guy. You don't have what it takes to beat that guy. You're calling him a tomato can because you're watching from the outside against the guys that he's facing in that world of boxing. But you can't beat that guy. And in my
Yeah,
experience from street fighting to trying the amateurs and everything, it's not easy. It's not easy.
yeah.
There's a lot to be learned. Even if you want to be a guy that comes forward and brawls all the time, that style specifically has a set of things that you have to do consistently until
Oh
you're
yeah,
so good
yeah.
at it that you don't like it's muscle memory and you can never forget. You can do it in your sleep.
A lot of people talk about the Mexican style of being like beneath the boxing style because they come forward, but it's really not the case. Like Julio Cesar Chavez is a great fighter. He's a great fighter, and
Absolutely.
but people are fans of just pure boxers. They just want to discredit everything that's not slick. You can't discredit Chavez, man. The way that he positioned his shoulders, the pace, how he carried his fighters, how he went to the body, how he
Yes.
punched the jab.
Yes.
They can
And,
that.
and what you mean when you're saying positioning shoulders is the way that he put his shoulders up when punches were coming in so he could block
Yeah,
them. A lot of punches were glancing off his shoulders and off the top of his head because he was able to tuck his chin down and get out the way of those punches and let them hit his shoulders. And you have to be able to relax even to do that.
yeah. How he fought Rafredo, what's his name? Rosario. I believe it was at 140 pounds, the Puerto Rican.
Okay.
You should look that fight up. That fight was amazing. Beat
Yeah.
him down, stopped him in the 11th round.
Yeah, it take a lot to do that, man. To have that style specifically, like that's a style that just goes forward, like you just march all night, all night.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
The
you have
guys
to
are
be a madman to do that.
yeah. The pace that he fought, the intensity. You know. Also, what's his name? He's a Puerto Rican fighter, Rafredo Gomez. He's known for getting beat by Salvador Sanchez,
Oh yeah,
but
I remember that fight.
man, Rafredo Gomez, dog, he'll come. He'll come. I seen
Yeah,
him. Some guy, I think Lupe or Pin. I don't know how to say it.
Lupe
Pintor.
Pintor. Yeah,
Yeah,
Lupe Pintor. Yeah,
man, that fight was crazy. Just the
yeah,
amount of punches these guys was throwing and not getting tired, and his fucking face is like swollen like this, looking
yeah.
like a damn cartoon character, but he still won and knocked the guy out.
Crazy, man. And some guys, like that's the other part. Some people say I could never do that. That's the whole point. That's why you're watching and that's why you're not in there. Those guys have the ultimate. They're willing to give the ultimate sacrifice, which is their life and their body for the very thing that they want, and that's a win.
Yeah,
Just for a win, and like people don't understand it. Like you're talking about something that takes so much out of you that you're willing to sacrifice your health just for a win. And
yeah, man.
most people don't understand what that's really like because they never really been in a fight and they never really had to fight for anything that mattered.
Okay, I don't know if you ever heard when Muhammad Ali fought Joe Frazier for the third time. He said that was the closest thing to death.
Yeah.
I've experienced that when I was sparring when I had rhabdomyolysis. You know, I was sparring this guy, a pretty known guy, and my body, man, I felt like I was dying, and I didn't want to give an inch. I wanted to win every round. I was going for it every round, man, and my body was killing me.
Mm.
And now, like I truly understood what Muhammad Ali was saying. I could relate to it so much.
Yeah, you're so drained. You're trying to do it. You're trying to push, but your body won't. Your body can't give no more. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Did you ever see that fight, that third fight with him and Joe Frazier?
Yeah, I watched the highlights.
Yeah,
I,
but
did I? I think I watched a little bit of it, but
go
my
back,
attention.
go back and watch, young man. Go back and watch that fight. You can see when Joe Frazier has him in the corner. I forgot what round, but he hit Muhammad Ali in the like I think it was like the lower ribs on the side. And when he hit
Uh,
him, Muhammad Ali's body slammed into the padding. So you knew that he was exhausted and he was trying his best to just take the punches while creating opportunities and catching his breath at the same time. That was a hellacious fight, man. That was a very
yeah,
hellacious fight.
you see the spirit of man come out when they're fighting. You
Yeah.
see, it's a beautiful thing to see, and I think boxing or just fighting sports in general will never go away.
Yeah, combat sports. Yeah.
Yeah.
You see it all the
You see
time.
the character.
Yeah, even in street fights when I've been a part of them or when I watch people street fight, that's it. It's me, you, and it's just knuckle and bone at that point, knuckle, bone, and flesh, and we gonna see who gonna get the best of who. Like that's the stripping away of everything. Like it as men, this is it right here. We get to see
Yeah.
who's the best at whatever it is right here. And most guys can't do that. Most men or women cannot stand in front of another person and throw punches. It takes a
Nah,
lot. It takes
not at all.
a hell of a lot for someone to do that. And when people sit and say, "Oh, I knocked this person, or I slapped this person," okay, you may say that, but are you willing to deal with the consequences that comes behind what you're saying?
Yeah.
Because that other person has a reaction, and you don't know what their reaction is going to be like or what it's going to feel like when they give it out.
Hmm.
So definitely, man. I've always honored and admire boxers and fighters in general, anybody in combat sports, because it's a hell of a thing to give up your body and sacrifice your body just to hurt another person for a win.
Hmm.
And most people don't understand that. So definitely. I'm glad that you go through the history books, man, and you studying and you're paying attention to these fighters. Even with the Pernell Whitaker versus Chavez fight. That was one of
Yeah.
those fights.
Whitaker what? Yeah, Whitaker what? Yeah.
Yeah, Whitaker won that fight, man. I don't care what nobody say.
Yeah, I'm arguing that. The
Yeah,
boxer.
he boxed him all the way around the ring,
Yeah.
and even after the fight, uh, what's my man Chavez said he was like he knew how to get low, he knew how to get under me, and he knew how to stop and cut me off at times, and he knew how to use his shoulders. So that lets you know that Chavez saw that there were things that he couldn't stop Pernell from doing. Pernell was an awesome boxer, man. I used to love watching him coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, rest in peace to Pernell Whitaker too, man.
Yeah, it's crazy how he died. Rest in peace
Yeah,
to him.
yeah. They say he just stepped off a curb and a motherfucking car hit him.
That's wild.
Yeah, yeah. But all right, my man, I'm glad that you was able to jump down on the podcast and talk to me. I look forward to seeing your fight in April.
I
Um,
really appreciate it, man.
man,
Thank you
hopefully,
for having me on here. I really appreciate it. You seem like a real cool, down to earth dude.
appreciate it.
I'm glad the conversations that we had, and maybe again we could do this in the future.
Absolutely. I'll keep in touch with you.
Yeah, man, it was fun. Nice
Yes,
talking
sir,
to you.
man. Yes, sir. And I like the progression. Again, I love the progression because from what I saw earlier, I was like, hey, man, he got to keep his hands up. But I'm glad
Yeah,
that everything has changed. I'm glad your situation has improved greatly for you. I look forward to seeing more from related to all those who are listening. Remember the mission statement when you are striving for greatness. God never puts you in the driver's seat if it's taken. We are done here.